As announced last Sunday, I left for Visakhapatnam and Rajahmundry on the 12th and returned here this morning. We had a very fine meeting in the Andhra University Yoga Institute, established on the Ramakrishna beach facing the vast ocean. I had to inaugurate it. A very distinguished gathering was there, including the Vice Chancellor. Then came the lecture at the Naval Establishment, Eastern Navy. About 700 naval personnel in their own auditorium. They had taken a wonderful subject for discussion, or rather for lecture. That was based on our Vedantic philosophy, dealing with modern human problems. It was a wonderful experience, and the Admiral, Vice Admiral Ramdas, who invited me, distributed also 500 copies of Rebuild India by Swami Vivekananda, a small book, and about 1,000 rupees Vedanta Ramakrishna Vivekananda literature were sold at the meeting place. That was a fine achievement. All the naval personnel were very happy with the whole proceedings. Then, addressing the railway staff in Voltaire Railway Club on the 14th morning, I came to Rajahmundry, 14th evening. We had the inauguration of the Sri Ramakrishna marble image in the Ramakrishna temple at Rajahmundry. Large number of people had come from the villages, from neighboring districts, even from far away. A large gathering. We had lectures by other Swamis, by myself. Yesterday evening at this time, the lecture was just coming to a close, followed by Arati in the temple. And this morning I reached here. We have completed the study of verse 9 in the 15th chapter last Sunday. It was a verse which said that within this body-mind complex there is a spiritual entity of the nature of consciousness. This ordinary people cannot understand, because they can't see it, they can't touch it, they can't handle it. That sloka, Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunyanam va gunanvitam vimudhananu pashyanti jnanachakshushaha. When there is jnanachakshu, the eye of knowledge, we can see this extremely subtle truth. And I often refer to the great struggle going on in modern neurology to establish the truth of a mind behind the brain, an extremely subtle reality of the mind behind the brain. And they accept mind is not subject to sensory verification. The great Sir Charles Sherrington, the initiator of modern neurology, he has said, this mind cannot be subject to sensory verification, and it will remain so forever. Whatever new developments you may have in science, mind cannot be brought under sensory scrutiny. It is that which moves the senses themselves. And so later neurologists have taken up this subject, having undertaken brain research in various parts of the world. And as I quoted from the Montreal Neurological Institute director, the late Penfield, who said, by studying patients under operation of the brain, conscious patients talking with the doctor while operation is going on in the brain, From that study, he came to the conclusion, the proposition, that there are two entities to deal with. Not only one is not at all that fantastic. So slowly, mind is entering into understanding of human nature, not merely the body and the nervous system. When that becomes well established, this shloka will be thoroughly understood. That at the time of death, something disappears. Nothing material disappears, but something extremely subtle. Utkramantam, sthitam vapi. Even now when we are alive, there is that reality within. Then also bhunjanam va gunanvitam. We are enjoying various pleasures and experiences in life composed of the three gunas. That time also that reality is there. This is understood by the jnana chakshus, who have got very subtle mind. Some of these neurologists have very subtle mind. They are able to detect the presence of something more than mere neurons and neuronal activity. Similarly here, vimodhananupashyanti. Those who are gross-minded will not be able to see this truth. But when you become extremely subtle in mind, you will be able to discover this truth. I am sure in the coming decades, these wonderful insights of Vedanta will become well established through scientific procedure. Not that science can prove this thing. Science can show that without that assumption, none of these experiences can be explained. Directly, physical science cannot prove either the mind or the Atman. But science can say, we can't explain human nervous behavior without positing something beyond the physical entity called the brain. That much has come already in a few scientists. Many more will come to it. A big search is on in this particular field. That's the importance of this verse 10. Wonderful verse. Now we go to verse 11 in the 15th chapter. Yatanto yoginaschainam pashyanti atmanyavasthitam. Those who struggle, who work hard to understand this truth, such yogis, pashyanti, they realize atmanam avasthitam, this truth hidden in yourself. They discover it. Those who struggle, yatanto, yoginaschainam, those who are yogis, in search of this spiritual truth. Anyone who is in search of spiritual truth is a yogi. Anyone who is in search of only material nature, he can be called a yogi in a wider sense, because science is the same search for truth. That is also truth, this is also truth. But specifically, this refers to people who search for the truth behind this human personality, the spiritual dimension of the human personality. To that person, the word yogi can be applied. Yatanto yoginasya enam. Enam means this truth, the Atman. Pashyanti atmani avasthitam. Established in his own self. Here within this body-mind complex, that reality is there. That truth is revealed to this yogi who is endeavoring and struggling to understand this truth. Yatantopi agritatmano. Those whose mind is not attuned to the yoga, only physical things they are able to handle, not something higher. To such people, even if they strive, yatanto api, he says, nayanam pashyanti, he or she doesn't realize this truth of the Atman behind the body. They achetasaha, because their mind is not fully attuned to this truth. Therefore, they stand outside. They see only outside things. Yadadityakatam tejo jagat bhasayate akhilam yat chandramasi yatcha agnau tat tejo vidhi mamakam. Krishna is telling, as that supreme divine consciousness, universal and one. Krishna is identifying himself as an avatar with that truth, and he says, Yad adityagatam tejo jagat bhasayate akhilam. The light of the sun illumines the whole solar system, every nook and corner. The rays of the sun can penetrate even into inaccessible caves even. That's the nature of this solar energy radiation. Similarly, yat chandramasi, yat chadnav, whatever is there in the moon or in the fire, they also are luminous substances. But remember, all of them derive their luminosity from me, the infinite pure consciousness. The most luminous thing, self-luminous, is pure consciousness. The light of the sun comes from material processes within the sun. It is not its own. So that we know the sun will die one day. When heat death, as we call it, all the hydrogen in the sun will be converted into energy and thrown out in the world. Sun will be no sun at all. Therefore, they have light temporarily. Here is the light of all lights. The infinite Atman, Brahman, is described in the Upanishads as Jyotisham Jyotihi, light of all lights. Most of the mystics have realized this truth. The light of sun and moon and stars, they trace to the light in man as the infinite Atman. That is the truth about this matter, says Krishna, I am that light. This is the idea. In the fourth gospel of St. John, you find this statement, he is the light that lighteth every soul that cometh into the world. A beautiful expression, Vedantic expression. That light that lighteth every soul that cometh into the world. That is the light of the divine. Yat chandramasi, yat chadnav, tat tejo, all the tejas with the mamakam is all mine from infinite consciousness, which I am. These lights have radiated to illumine these so that they can illumine other objects thereby. Then, gam avishyacha bhutani, dharayami aham ojasa. That same reality, which is myself, that infinite consciousness, enters into the earth. And there, bhutani dharayami, I sustain all beings, ojasa, through my energy. Prushnami chausati sarvaha, all plants and other type of herbal, entities, they all come out of that energy. So, Gamavishya, entering into the earth. Bhutani dharayami aham ojasa. I sustain all these beings through that ojas. They want water, they want food, they want this, they want that. All that is provided by the earth. The energy for it comes ultimately. Short term, long term. When you see the long term one, trace it, you will find from that one infinite source. The source of all energy in the universe is God Himself. That's why we call it Parashakti, Adyashakti. Beautiful expressions we have in our Vedantic literature. Pushnamicha aushadhi sarvaha. Also nourish all the herbs, and also the watery moon. Not the moon is considered to be a watery entity according to the old ideas. It looks solid here, but it has specially the idea of watery nature. And moon has something to do nourishing plants below. Everything is interconnected in nature, that is understood. So this is one of the conceptions in the Indian thought. Pushnami, I nourish, pushti, nourishment. Then, finally comes, main theme here is that wonderful reality is not only transcendent, but also immanent. He or she, that infinite reality is present in everything, nature as well as in man. So finally he says, the most concrete expression, we eat food and we digest it. We take the essence of that food to build up our body, and the waste matter we throw away. What is the nature of that digestion? Ayurveda calls it Jataragni, or the fire of digestion, Jataragni. Now, Krishna is saying here that Jataragni in all beings which digests all the 4 types of food, food that is eaten, drunk, licked or swallowed, there are 4 types they call it here. All that is myself. It is my energy that is in your digestive system, making for digestion of food. So concrete is the expression of that reality. We live in and through Him every minute. That is the Vedantic idea of reality, not something outside the universe. You stand in awe before it, not at all. He is what we call Otaprotam in this universe. There's a beautiful expression in Sanskrit. Otaprotam means warp and move. What is a cloth? Warp and move. That is a cloth. So this is called warp and move of the universe. That is Brahman. And so in this case also, whenever you digest food, I am digesting it, manifesting myself as that digestive energy, metabolic energy in the system. That is the next verse. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayukta Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. I, becoming the Vaishwanara Agni, Vaishwanara fire in this human body, Praninam Deham Ashritaha, getting into the human body, Pranapana Samayukta, along with Prana and Apana, Pachamyannam, I digest. Pachi means to digest, to burn, as well as to digest or to cook. Pachami annam, the food that you take, 4 types. Chaturvidham, all the types of food that you take, I digest it. Now we have this idea in our eating process according to the old tradition. We consider food being given is an offering to the divine within, that fire of the divine within. There is a sacredness in eating that you can see in all our literature, religious literature. Generally, in all religions, there is this attitude. There is sacredness in eating. It's not merely just a glutton eating. Something of a divine act it is, eating itself. So we just worship, utter a mantra, be it in the ashrama we utter, Brahmapanam Brahmahavi. Everything is Brahman. That is the language used there. So that comes from the Gita. So the sacred act, that eating is a sacred act. Nothing is worldly, nothing is secular. Everything is divine, sacred. That is the idea coming out of Vedantic teaching. Just the opposite of it is today. Nothing is sacred, nothing is holy. Everything is drab and secular. That is modern idea, extremely modern idea. But this idea will appeal to people. The truth is there, that this solar energy comes as my digestive power. Even Shankara says that it is Savirakyena Tejasa. This solar energy is what gives you your secretion from the liver. All this is solar energy in manifestation. And solar energy itself comes from the divine. So, the transformation of that divine energy into all these forms are expressed here. It's only as an instance, not detail. You must understand it. It applies to all situations. There is only one energy source, that is God Himself. Everything out of Him comes and manifests as plant growth, as flowering, fruit, seasons, beautiful. Plants have particular seasons for particular flowering or bearing fruit, etc. All this through the solar energy you find manifested here. But the source is there. That source, when you ask for, then you come to the supreme divine source. Only one source for everything in this world. So, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayukta Pachami Annam Chaturvidham. I digest the 4 types of food. Only possible is 4 types of food. It's a very big generalization. What you can bite, what you can chew, what you can swallow, what you can drink. These are various types that are there. What you can lick, all that is considered to be the Chaturvidham food that you take. But digestion is done by the digestive fire, which is a product of solar energy, which itself is a product of the divine consciousness of the Infinite One. This is how even the eating process, we are connected with the divine. There is nothing secular, really speaking, in Vedantic language. Everything is spiritual. Whether we know it or not, it is entirely spiritual. It is good for us to know that it is spiritual. That is the concept. Separate secularism we don't have. If once you realize the whole universe is Brahman, that is the great teaching in the Upanishad, Brahmaivedam Amritam, that immortal Brahman is all this manifested universe, then everything is holy, everything is sacred. This is the attitude. How to make life sacred and holy. Today we have gone too far in the direction of destroying all meaning, all beauty, all divinity and holiness from life. Today we have to bring back a little. There is something holy, something divine. That kind of attitude. There are many people today in the West who are taking this attitude, divinizing life itself. Therefore, this particular sentence has great relevance today. Even the act of eating is a divine act. Then comes the teaching here. Sarvasya chaham, he says. Finally, in that section, he says here, verse 15, I am the self in all beings. Sarvasya chaham, hridisannivishto. I have established myself in the heart of all beings. Of all beings, not only human, but also non-human. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto. Matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. It is from me that you get these varying experiences of smriti, moha, apohana. See, wonderful. Even good and bad. Not only good, but also bad. Because only one is there. Even bad must be attributed to that only. What are the three here? He says memory, he says memory, perception, as well as loss of memory, forgetfulness. All that has come from that one source only. You have no two sources, one for good, one for evil. You don't have that duality. From one only. And the nearest explanation to satisfy this truth is that you get a solar system. That everything in this solar system is traced to solar radiation. You have beautiful flowers, beautiful food on your table. And what about the dirt lying there? That is also solar energy in one form. Everything in this world is solar energy. Good, bad, indifferent, everything. A scientific attitude will give you this conviction. There is no second thing, one for good, one for evil. Even the dirt in the world is a product of solar energy in a particular situation. What we call dirt is what nourishes plants. How can you call it entirely bad? Out of dirt you get better agriculture, better products from trees and plants. So they are not bad, relatively bad. I can't eat the dirt. I can eat only rice and food. But don't condemn that dirt has a great value. That we forget very often. So what is bad in one from one point of view becomes good from another point of view. That is, we must realize it. The poison in the snake is dangerous to us. We are afraid of it. Very good. But it has got also great properties. It can stop your bleeding. If properly administered to the body, it stops your bleeding. So medical value, it gets there. So in this way, nothing is all good, nothing is all bad. That we should realize. Vedanta proclaims it, and many dualistic religions cannot appreciate this. But a science will appreciate it. They believe in unity behind this universe. So he said, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto. I am established in the heart of all beings. Matta, smriti, jnanam, apohanam cha. Smriti, memory, jnanam, knowledge or perception, apohanam, forgetfulness. All the three come from me only. This is the language. Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedyo. In all the Vedas, I alone have been taught there. What is to be known in the Vedas is about this truth, this infinite divine one. Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedyo. Vedanta krit veda videva chaham. I am the creator of the Vedas. I am the knower of the Vedas. That also you must know. The whole, what the Vedas proclaim is this. Sarve Veda Yat Padam Amananti. Say in the Kathopanishad, 2nd chapter, you get this verse. What truth all the Vedas proclaim. Sarve Veda Yat Padam. What state is proclaimed by all the Vedas. You see, this is the truth, that infinite one. So I am that Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chaham. Then finally he says, coming to a very important section in this Gita. Nowhere else you will find, except in some Puranas, this wonderful idea of God as Purushottama. There is a Purushottama Yoga, it is called. Dvavimau Purushav Loke Ksharascha Aksharamevacha Ksharas Sarvani Bhutani Kutastho Akshara Vichyade. There are two Purushas in this world. Dvau Imau Purushav. These two Purushas are there in this world. There. Ksharascha Aksharevacha. One is a perishable, the other is imperishable. These are the two Purushas that are in this world. Ksharascha Aksharevacha. What is Kshara? Kshara Sarvani Bhutani. All entities in this world are Kshara. They come and they go. That's the nature of all manifestations in this world. All entities, man, animal, plant, everything, they belong to the Kshara aspect of the divine. Kshara Sarvani Bhutani. An ocean has waves. All the waves are Kshara, but they are a fact. Bhutani. An ocean has waves. All the waves are Kshara, but they are a fact. Waves are there. But no, wave will continue more than a few seconds. So they are called Kshara Purusha. That language is used. Because it is coming from Brahman, you can use the word Purusha. It has come from pure consciousness. Therefore you can use the word Purusha. Kshara Purusha. Kshara Sarvani Bhutani. Then what is Akshara Purusha? Kutastha Akshara Uchyate. The steady one, which is called Prakriti, nature, in its primordial state, that is called Akshara Purusha. That is always there. That takes into various forms and they become Kshara, but the Akshara is there. These are the two. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha. Consider these two. Kshara Sarvani Bhutani. Kutastha Akshara Uchyate. Kutastha is actually that which is steady. Just like the anvil in the blacksmith shop. You go on hammering. That anvil remains the same, absolutely steady. That is called Kutastha. So Kuta actually means false. Kuta, that meaning also is a Kuta Sakshi. False witness is called Kuta Sakshi. So either Kutastha means steady, without any movement, without any kind of what you call manifestations or transformation. Kutastho Akshara Uchyate. That is the Akshara. If that is so, he says, very important idea comes, Uttama Purushastvanyaha. These three Purushas are all right. Kshara, Akshara. There is one supremely good Purusha. Another one. What is that? Uttama Purushastvanyaha. Paramatme Tidahataha. He is known as Paramatman. He is Uttama Purusha. What a beautiful conception of Purusha as the Uttama Purusha. So, Yo Lokatrayam Avishya, who has enveloped the whole world. Lokatrayam Avishya means enveloping, covering, whole world. Vibharti Avyaya Ishvaraha. He protects the whole universe. He is the Avyaya, imperishable. Ishvaraha, the Lord, the Supreme, Divine. That is the wonderful truth. Uttama Purushastvanyaha. Paramatme Tudahritah. He is the Paramatman. Yo Lokatrayam Avishya. He is also in you and me, as he himself said earlier. One of my own sparks has entered into you, he said earlier. So, this Paramatma, of the nature of pure consciousness, infinite and non-dual. Yes, the whole 13th chapter onwards, we are speaking about the one in the many. There's only one. 13th chapter said, know me as the one Kshetrajna in all the Kshetras. The knower is one. The known are many. Body shows as if the knower is many. No. In all Kshetra there is only one Kshetrajna, but it is conditioned by this particular Kshetra. When you investigate, you find there is no separate Kshetrajna. There is only one infinite seer, infinite knower, that is Brahman. That is the language of the Upanishads. So there it was said like that. So here also, yo lokatrayam avishya vibharti avyaya ishvaraha. He is avyaya, he is Ishvara. These are all vyaya, evastu, spending, reducing, and finally disappearing. Just like we call it in economics, you see, if you have money in the bank and you don't put new deposits in the bank, you could draw the bank, money day by day, one day it will go fat. There will be no money at all in the bank. You have to put something more to make it permanent. Similarly, the whole world is vyaya. You are all drawing energy and dissipating. Ultimately, you won't have any energy at all. That is the nature of manifestation, these individual entities in the world. But the source from which it comes, absolutely infinite, ever full. That is the Vedantic language. Yasmaksharam atitoham akshadadapi jottamaha atosmi loke vedeja prathita rushottamaha. That is a famous verse here. Because yasmat ksharam atitoham, I am above the kshara, kshara purusha. Akshadadapi jottamaha, I am far more uttama or supreme or best compared to the akshara. The first is kshara purusha, second is akshara purusha. I am beyond this, I am far more superior in goodness, in quality with respect to this akshara purusha. Yasmat ksharam atitoham. Atita means transcendent, beyond, like that. Akshara uttamaha. Uttama is a beautiful word in Sanskrit. Uttama, the best. That's called uttama. I am the uttama, he says. Therefore, atosmi loke vedecha. I am known in the Vedas and in the world as Purushottama. Uttama Purusha is Purushottama. That way. Atosmi loke vedecha prathita, well known as Purushottama. It's called Purushottama Yoga. The God of the Bhakta, the God of the Jnani is the Purushottama. That same Brahman is both Nirguna, Saguna, without qualities and with qualities, and they are one and the same. The same reality is finding expression as the world from one point of view, as itself beyond the world from another point of view. We call it in Sanskrit Nitya and Leela. That is Nitya Swarupa, Brahman, and this is Leela Swarupa, Bhagavan's play in the world. The 10th chapter we studied, the Vibhuti Yoga. The whole world contains immense varieties of things which are God's own Vibhutis, high divine manifestations they are. So we don't separate the world from the divine. So Leela and Nitya are one, says Sri Ramakrishna. Nitya and Leela are one. Whatever is Nitya is also Leela. Whatever is Leela is also Nitya. So this is called Nitya. And then this becomes Leela. Leela also is one with Nitya. This is how Advaita is expounded, where there is nothing to separate one from the other. Appearances make for separation. Truth is not there. Only one is there behind everything. So all the sciences today are striving in that direction of seeing that energy which is the energy of all other energies. What you call the concept of a unified field energy, which can explain every other energy. That struggle is going on. At the physical level, we put it physical and non-physical, and discovered it in the infinite Brahman of the nature of pure consciousness. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Taittiriya Upanishad said, Brahman is truth. That means in existing vastu, not some imagination or something. Brahman is vastu satyam. Similarly, Jnanam, of the nature of pure consciousness, not a piece of stone, not a rock. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, infinite. Where is he? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. You can realize that Brahman in your own heart. It is hidden there. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. That person attains Brahman in this very body. That a wonderful, attractive proposition, that infinite reality we can approach, we can realize as our own self. What a beautiful conception. All through the Upanishads you have this wonderful truth expounded, that man has the organic capacity to realize that infinite consciousness which manifests as his own consciousness in this psychophysical system. Animal bodies do not have that capacity for any knowledge except instinctual knowledge. But man can understand the world outside, can understand himself, and in himself he sees this wonderful dimension, the infinite dimension behind the body-mind complex. Imagine a shloka in that great Advaita book, Ashtavakra's Gita, Ashtavakra Gita it is called. Small book. There, the sage telling of his experience, I am that reality in whose infinite ocean these universes appear as waves, play for a time and go away. This is the language. Mayananta Mahambodhau Bahutha Vishwavichayaha. Vishwavichaya means, Vichi means wave. Universe waves. This universe, previous universe, all. They are just a wave in that infinite ocean which I am. That is my true nature. I am not this body, I am not this little thing. Now a man can say this. What an audacious claim. That is what man can do. That is man's true nature. He is infinite, caught up in a finite net, struggling to get out of it. That's the meaning of your struggle. Why do we struggle to be free? Ask that question. We feel we are bound. Nobody likes to be bound. We want to make ourselves free. We break through all this. Freedom is the goal. That freedom you will get here and now in this very body if you know how to approach it. Vedanta shows you that way. And when you become free, all these bondages go. What happens to you? You become the original one, the infinite one. Ramakrishna said, Brahman caught in the net of its own Maya is the Jiva. And that net is removed, Jiva becomes free. Man unchained is God. God enchained is man. That's language. Sri Ramakrishna's gospel. God enchained is man. Man unchained is God. We are part of that infinite one. If I realize that truth, what a beautiful thing it will be. That divine is both impersonal and personal. That unity of the impersonal and personal is understood through this concept of Purushottama. I am beyond the Kshara Purusha, beyond the Akshara Purusha. Therefore, in the world and in the Vedas, I am known as Purushottama. So, we have many what you call conceptions of this Purushottama, but never forget it is one and the same. We may call Shiva the Purushottama, Vishnu the Purushottama, according to one's own choice. They are not separate beings. One and same Purushottama is viewed in this light, in that light, according to people's inclination. Ruchinam Vaichitriyat. The same food material can be cooked in different ways, according to your ruchi, but food material is just the same. So that's the language of India, language of Vedanta. We may call it any names. We call it Purushottama, that supremely divine person whom I can love, whom I can approach, who is not a magistrate, noting down every mistake I do, He is infinite love. That is his nature. This is the highest level of mysticism you will find it both in East and West. This is what the Gita is expounding here in this chapter on Purushottama Yoga. Yasmaksharam atitoham akshārādapi jottamaha atosmi loke vedecha prathita Purushottamaha. He is the Purushottama. Beautiful idea. You can establish happy relations with the Purushottama. He is a love. When you love him, you can get response from him. You can establish happy relations through him with everybody else also. And that very Purushottama is also the Supreme Brahman, beyond this manifestation. We are living in the world of manifestation. We cannot understand that Brahman beyond the form, formless type. We can't understand it. Only in deep samadhi you can come in touch with him. But when you open the eyes and live at the level of manifestation, the only way we can approach the divine is as a Purushottama. He is the, Vivekananda calls it, the unity of all souls, both human and subhuman. All that unity is an infinite power. That is the Purushottama. And we can develop bhakti towards that Purushottama along with jnana. Jnana, bhakti combination. In the light of that, you can do work in this world and become free, even though you are handling the world around you. So this is the special development which began in the second chapter. How through work, through daily life, through daily interhuman reactions, we can realize the supreme, that is yoga of the Gita. So this is one aspect of the yoga of the Gita, Purushottama Yoga. Next says, Yo mam evam asammūdho janāti Purushottamam. Those who know me, this Purushottama, free from all delusion, asammūdho, clearly we realize this truth. Yo mam evam, me, like this, janāti, no. Those who know this without any delusion, asammūdho. Purushottamam iti. I am that Purushottama. I look upon him as a Purushottama. I understand it clearly. I am also a Purusha. He is a Purushottama. You can say like that, we are all person. He is the supreme person, the united, universal person. He is. He who does this, sa sarvavid bhajati. He becomes all-knowing. When you know the Purushottama, and the Lord is the Purushottama, you know everything. There is nothing left out. Sa sarvavid bhavati, bhajati. He is a sarvavid. He is a knower of all. And bhajati mam sarvabhavena. He worships me from every point of view. Every action, every movement of the mind is a worship of the divine. So, sa sarvavit is a knower of all. Because he is the all. I am in touch with him, so I can be also the knower of all. Sarvavit bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. He worships me from every point of view. As I told you, even eating becomes a worship of the divine. Nothing is secular in that point of view. This is the meaning of this great verse, sa sarvavit. Bhajati mam sarvabhavena. Hey Bharata, hey Arjuna. Last shloka says, iti guhyaramam shastram idamuktam mayanakha. I have now spoken to you this most mysterious shastra or science. Any shastra dealing with inner life is like a mystery. The whole inner life is a mystery. Even to the scientist, the very heart of nature is a mystery. They study only the effect of nature and not nature itself. Nature is still a mystery to any scientist. But they study the actions of nature. Just like photograph an electron. He has passed through, a little light was there, he just photographed. Nobody has seen the electron. But you see only a photograph of the movement of an electron, some little glow you will find there. So in this way, if that is a mystery for all the scientists, this will be a still greater mystery. So this Gukhya Tamam, you call it. Tamam is for superlative degree. Tara and Tama. More and most. That's called most mysterious. Not something with a hidden mystery, not that way. It is deep. Just like somebody is hiding in a cave. You look around, you don't find anybody there. But he is actually there, far interior. That's a type of mystery. What Prophet Muhammad saved his life by being such a mystery, hiding in a cave. His enemies pursued him just at the beginning of his career. He has just started teaching Islam. At that time, enemies were there in Arabia, especially in Mecca. They pursued him and they came in front of this cave. They just looked and found a spider had spun its, what you call, net in front of the cave. So nobody can be here. They were shouting, moving about. Muhammad is hearing all this, and after waiting for some time, they went away, thinking there is nobody here. That is hiding, a mystery. To them he is a mystery. And he told his companion, and he said, Prophet, we are only two. What will we do? The enemies come and attack us. No, we are not two. We are three. The Lord also is there. The Infinite One is there. That's the language he used at that time. Great faith in the protection of the Divine. So mystery can be all this, but this is the mystery of all mysteries. Iti guhyatamam shastra. It is a science. Science of the highest reality. Science of Brahman. Science of Purushottama. Brahman as a Purushottama. Iti guhyatamam shastram. Idamuktam mayanaka. O sinless one, I have expounded this Shastra to you now, just now. Etat buddhva. Knowing this truth, buddhiman syat. Really you become an over. You will be a man with buddhi. By realizing, understanding this truth, your buddhi has achieved the best expression. Buddhi that can capture a little knowledge here and there, very ordinary. Buddhi that can capture Brahman, what a wonderful buddhi it must be. That buddhiman syat, you will be that buddhiman. Like Buddha, for example. He realized the infinite and the immortal, and he became Buddha, the enlightened one. That buddhi, which is luminous with the light of the Atman, that buddhi you will have when you realize this truth. And buddhi is the only instrument that can realize this truth. It is very next to the Atman is buddhi. Just imagine, Nedishtham Brahma. Shankaracharya calls buddhi nearest to the Atman. Nedishtham Brahma. Yes, buddhi looks back, the Atman is there. But buddhi doesn't know how to look back. Buddhi is always busy looking out all the time on the manifestation, on the varieties that are there. But when buddhi learns this truth, that just behind some tremendous power, the infinite divine, the Purushottama himself, then that buddhi is the real buddhi. Buddhi in its infinite form. What a beautiful conception of buddhi. He can comprehend the reality. Sri Ramakrishna said, if Brahman cannot be realized by mind or by intellect or buddhi, what does it mean? He said, by this mind, by this buddhi, you cannot realize Brahman. This mind and buddhi are subject to the pressures of the sensory system and the sensory world. It has not become its own true self. When you purify this manas and buddhi, then you are able to realize that truth. So, buddhigrahyam is used in the Gita. By pure buddhi, you can realize the Atman. And Ramakrishna puts it, Shuddha manas, Shuddha buddhi, Shuddha Atman are one and the same. We make so many names for various functions, but behind all of them there is only one energy. Therefore, when a manas is very pure, it is the Atman. Buddhi is very pure, it is the Atman. And the Atman is there. So, Shuddha manas, Shuddha buddhi, Shuddha Atman are one and the same. Etat buddhva, buddhiman syat. Real buddhiman you will be. We say, the man has good intelligence. Oh, I am very intelligent because I can cheat half a dozen people with my brain. That's called buddhiman. You see? And he will pat himself. Wonderful intelligence. What is that? stupid intelligence, a foxy intelligence. This intelligence that can comprehend the ultimate reality, that is the biggest intelligence. Etat buddhimatam buddhi. There is a beautiful shloka. It says, this is the buddhi of the man who has buddhi. Etat buddhiman, buddhimatam buddhi. Manisha cha manishinam. This is the wisdom of the wise person. Yet, he says, that in this perishable body, you realize the imperishable one. That is real buddhi. That is real manas. That is a shloka there. That this wonderful, subtle truth you can understand. When that buddhi can do so, that is buddhi in its best form. Try to develop that buddhi with the exhortation of that particular verse. Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam mayanaka etat buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. You become a kritakritya, achieving what ought to be achieved being born as a human being. So when you set out to build a house for yourself, when the beginning you are not a kritakritya, you are struggling to get a land, struggling to get money, struggling to start the building. And finally, building is ready, the opening ceremony, you become kritakritya with respect to that particular event. Take life as a whole. When can you say, I am kritakritya? Only when you realize this truth. Then you can say, I am kritakritya. Having done what ought to be done is called kritakritya or kritartha. Both are the same. And Buddha got up from his meditation after his enlightenment. This very word he used. I have now become kritakritya, kritartha. He has used that language there. So here is the Gita saying the same thing. Etat buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. You will be a kritakritya when you achieve this profound truth. This is the beautiful exposition of Purushottama Yoga in the 15th chapter. We enter into the 16th chapter next time when we meet here. That chapter is famous. Daivasura Sampat, Daivi Sampat, Asuri Sampat. Evil, Rakshasa type of nature or really divine type of nature, human character. This is discriminated there as an important item. We shall take up this 16th chapter when we meet here next time. I say this because next Sunday I won't be here. Every year I go to Trichure in Kerala to conduct a spiritual retreat for the last 25 years. It's going on. So I leave here on 20th and I go to Coimbatore for 21st for 1 day. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. Thou art my mother, thou art my father, thou art my wealth, thou art my knowledge.